Welcome back to the last day of the North American Spring Split. There are a few players that have been in the LCS since its inception, Kopp being one of them, and he's left his mark on the league, but it also has had a lasting impact on him.
Fucking hate interviews. This is a natural pose. This is a good pose. Okay. Should I take off my shirt? My life was like, it was pretty boring. I guess before I got into gaming, I didn't really have a real understanding of like what I wanted to do in life. I was gonna just do what my sister did, which is like marketing, which is safe, but I don't know if I really wanted to do that. Yeah, I'd just been living in Florida for like 15 years, and then honestly I had like no friends at the college I went to, even though I went there for like 2 years. Yeah, it just didn't really go out much, so. I think at the time I was ranked 4 or something in solo queue. I don't remember ever being that high, but it happens sometime, and that like catches the eyes of people trying to make teams. So when Steve, Liquid 112, messaged me, they just lost Doublelift, so they're looking for a replacement really quickly. He opened that I could like fly to California, meet the team, meet Curse, the brand, the organization. But the main thing that just like caught my eye was that I get to travel and like go on a plane, which I don't remember ever being on a plane before then. So the biggest reason I took the job was just to travel to California. I was up the whole like 7-hour flight looking out at like the amazing scenery. In like a week, moved to San Francisco in like a multi-million-dollar apartment, one of like the sickest places I've ever lived in. And then going to like Kiev the next week, having like multiple tournaments in like Vegas, LA, all those places. It was just like the biggest way I could have changed my life for, I guess, what I wanted. And it's like everything I ever dreamed of.
Welcome to the stage, Kopp.
I might not come off as like a player that really cares, but I still do have that like insane drive to be like the best. I really, really want to go to Worlds. My like last thing I really want to achieve in League of Legends. I guess my early years on Curse, they weren't as happy as they seemed. I was getting the backlash of like the entire community, constant negativity on Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, everything. Get benched, or we need to replace him. I don't know, just as many negative things you can think of, I pretty much got everything. And I would still look at it, which is kind of stupid in my opinion, but it's like really hard to ignore though. I persevered through it with a lot of help from my team, like Elements, Steve, all them like talking to me every day. That really, I guess, made me a stronger person in terms of, it pulled me sort of out of the introverted lifestyle. It got me to speak up. I think it overall helped me. At PAX, when we somehow ended up 4th against LMQ.
They make the comeback a reality. LMQ, you're headed to the World Championship.
And for Curse, it does stop once again at 4th place.
I was right there to like achieving my like biggest goal in League of Legends, which is just making it to Worlds. I don't know. There's just so much disappointment in the team. We're all just really disappointed in ourselves. It's probably the most devastating thing I've ever dealt with in my life, just because I was so close, but still just didn't make it. And I was told we're gonna try out new AD carries. I don't know, this is devastating. It's like right after a loss, and then being told I was basically gonna be replaced. It's just, I wanted to like try new things with a new team, new management, everything, and just start from the bottom again and like see if I could make it and see if I had what it takes. Being on Gravity, it's just like a fresh start and gives me like another chance to make Worlds with this brand new team that I really like playing with. I haven't really left the mark I've wanted to leave yet on the League community. I guess I'm just consistent, which I'm not really content with. With Gravity, I still have like my mark to leave, and I think I'll showcase that this season. I want to show that I have the drive. I want to show that I have what it takes to be like the best, and I hope that I'm able to show that.
And he has the chance to actually place higher than his former team in this game, or play them if they lose.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy just watching Kop's progression through his LCS career, because he has been around for the entirety of the LCS. And this split, more than any, it's actually, we say this every split about Kop, is, oh man, he's better than ever, right? Because he is consistent, but he has consistently improved at a very slow pace, but he's becoming one of the best AD carries in North America.
You talk about leaving an impression, or he talked about leaving an impression, and being around this long is a feat in and of itself in gaming. And then beyond that, though, you look at now being on a new team. He's come into a new team, and it could be the team that finishes highest of the 3 additions to the LCS this year, as you mentioned, above the team that he came from. That's an astronomical feat, too.
Yeah, and I actually want to look at today, too, because his playstyle fits the meta very well, because he's a very passive backline AD carry, and if you have people peeling for you in the tank meta, it's definitely for him. He's not going to be up in that front line.
Time to run away for some tanks. All right.
Yes, exactly. Well, to get us into the game, let's send it over to our guys on the caster desk.
Thank you very much, Dash. I think it's very fitting we went from a feature about one David to another one. I'm David FLICKR here with Sam Kobe.
It's all about David.
It's all about David today, and they're gearing up for maybe a battle against Goliath. It is Gravity versus Team 8. And now, with Team Liquid's win in our last match, a victory here guarantees the winner a playoff spot.
Yeah, Gravity has been a tough nut for teams to crack as well. Not only has Keen been pulling out unorthodox picks like the Urgot mid, but he's been successful with them. That's the big difference. He's not afraid to innovate, and the team as a whole are also very flexible in their picks. As we just heard on the desk, teams like Team Liquid, who are looking very closely at this game, are going to have a hard time even knowing what these guys will use. Yesterday, though, he also used mid-rumble, and this leads to some pick-and-ban mind games that Gravity can pull off. It also led to that, upset win. So
yeah, it made it pretty difficult for C9 to fight against that. Overall, I think C9 did come out doing okay. But yeah, suddenly out of nowhere, mid lane rumble, weird things going on. But now, Team 8, let's talk about the other guys. They aspire to be a team that pushes the envelope, pushing the champion envelope. But yesterday, they actually went back to standard picks, old school picks. We kind of said they're playing a 5.4 type team composition. The top lane Maokai for Cali Trolls, really not something we're fans of seeing from them.
Number of the casters talked to Team 8, and they were just wondering why you guys keep going back to Maokai, and they keep thinking it's going to work, but things just have not changed for them, and they really do need to let Cali use his more unorthodox champions and let him go free, because Slushie is very predictable. He's going to play Orianna or LeBlanc. Porpoise has played Rek'Sai over and over again when he can, and Maple Street trends towards Graves when he can. So if the entire team is static and very predictable like this, then it makes it very easy for opponents to prepare for him. Calitrolls was the one player that was the big wild card for this team. So if they really want to avoid that predictability, that's the place to start.
Yeah, they don't want to make it easy to prepare for themselves. We'll see if that happens. So Gravity's Bunny Fufu says it's actually not knowing what to expect from Team 8 that actually make them such a big threat.
In the beginning of the split, we were scrimming Team 8 a lot, and I think we won 15 games in a row one time versus them. But in LCS, they just pick up the most random victories, so they're really a hard team to get a grasp of. I don't really know what it is exactly, but they're kind of like the dark horse, I guess, the team you gotta watch out for because they can just sneak up on you or something. I don't know.
Members of Gravity keep using this term random for the wins of Team 8. Bunny Fufu and St. Vicious, they keep calling them random. That just speaks to me that they don't understand how Team 8 are pulling off victories, and that seems like a very, very big weapon for Team 8 to use. Because Team 8, they're very clear about how they're winning. Cali's like, yes, I understand exactly what we did to win that game, but it doesn't seem like Gravity have got a grasp on it.
Well, we're going to see if they have a grasp right here. Winner gets into playoffs. Loser is going to have to face Team Liquid for that last possible spot at the end of the day. For now, let's check out the starting lineups. On the blue side is Gravity, Hanser in the top lane, Saint Vicious in the jungle, Keen in mid, Cop on AD carry, Bunny Fufu on support.
And on the red side, it's Team 8. Up top is Cali Trolls in the jungle, Porpoise, mid Slushy, AD carry Maple Street, and support Dodo.
All right, guys, well, as we get ourselves into the game, all 10 players in the lobby, the question then stands, with probably the two most, I would say, unpredictable teams, Innovative might also work here. Good luck predicting picks and bans here. Like, what do you do as the analyst? Be like, guys, throw darts at a board. Ban something they're known to play. Maybe LeBlanc comes out here. Maybe Urgot, yeah, okay. But from here, it's like, what do you predict?
I would definitely target Slushy because, yes, he's been a huge part of this team, but he hasn't used like the variance in champion pool for Slushy is not very high. I want to see some team push those boundaries for him.
Yeah, I actually agree. So the Orianna ban, I know Keen can play LeBlanc. Maybe they'll ban it away. I think you don't let Slushy pick it for himself without some very smart counterpick prepared for yourselves. Teammate take plenty of time. Talk about dark horses. Hecarim banned away. Odds are not going to get that one. And now for one final ban. Is it LeBlanc? Will they first pick it? Will it go away? That's where my attention's turned toward right now, and it is LeBlanc. All right, so they push Slushy around a little bit.
Let's see how far they could push him when he will drop to.
Other things he's played, Zed, Ari, Kassadin, Lissandra, Corki, and Lulu in week 1, which he lost with. That's the rest of Slushy's champion people we've seen so far.
I feel like with the with the Urgot ban, they may be expecting it and going for the Zed early, but they are red side and they could save for the counter matchup. Let Gravity show at least one solo.
I like this ban right here on the Sejuani. I think that was the one big first pick that Gravity could take. I think teammate, like, even though they chose Rek'Sai last time around, I think they should go for Sejuani, and it's a big champion for Saint Vicious too.
With the amount of variance on the new patch with champions, the one thing that most people agree on is that Sejuani is ridiculously powerful as a jungler right now.
Yep.
So, not going to be on the board. Very good ban for Team 8. And Gravity go for some team fight power here. We've seen so many Rumble players just take over the game.
Yeah.
And all you need, really, is 1 or 2 good mid-game ultimates because you win an entire team fight off of a good ultimate from Rumble.
It's true. And we're going to see which one that Rumble ends up being. Hanser's played it once. Keen's played it once. We'll see who ends up getting the champion here. Teammate, though, they do go back to the Rek'Sai. Porpoise still wants to play an early aggressive jungler, wants to go for those plays. Dodo gets his Morgana, and Gravity actually steal away the Graves that Maple's played so much.
Yeah, I like what Gravity are doing so far. They are keeping this Rumble just in case the Zed pick does come in. Keen will run it into Zed once again. Or they can flex it up to top, and they're already taking away pieces of Team 8 strategy. Give him a little taste of Soraka, just mass over at once. And
thing is, I don't think Teammate's going to pick Soraka. They've actually already made fun of Dodo multiple times in person in front of me about how they played a scrim, and they watched the replay, and Dodo healed 0 times during one of the team fights. They're like, why did we lose this battle? You realize that Dodo didn't do anything? They're like, you're never playing Soraka again, bro.
Yeah, I remember that. And yes, if you don't heal people, then you have a bunch of low health teammates and you can run around really quickly.
That's true.
So you retain your speed boost.
Static Shift Soraka, new meta. Luden's Echo too.
Electrified bananas.
Yes. Oh man.
All right.
Well, teammate, one of the Freljord Queens is banned. Pick up a different one. The Ice Witch, Lissandra going to be here.
Interesting.
Actually going to get himself that one. The Lulu Hover, I saw, but they don't go for this one. So pretty team fight focused, the ability to get into these fights. Definitely here for teammate.
And a ridiculous amount of protection for Maple Street. Not only is Sivir a very defensive champion with a spell shield of her own, but also the Morgana Black Shield on top of it. Makes it very hard to lock down Sivir with all these tanks that are bringing just crowd control.
Yeah. Well, we got to see what happens, though. Gravity with a squishy soul inner in Rumble. He can disengage a bit off Equalizer, but a champion that can be caught, certainly, with On the Hunt. Last few picks for Gravity. It's going to be a mid lane Vladimir and jungle Nunu here. So heavy magic damage AoE.
Yeah, and they're not going with lockdown, right?
No.
It's pretty much all on Bunny Fufu's shoulders, which if you're going to put it on one person, your skill shots, and you're going to bank on somebody, Bunny Fufu's Thresh has been amazing thus far. But besides that, it's going to have to be Gravity are going to have to pick their fights in small corridors if they really want to control the battlefield, because they can't contain a Sivir sped up team, especially since there's Morgana Black Shield's going to be roaming around here.
Yeah, this is
They'll
interesting.
have to use the territory to their advantage because they do have plenty of zoning tools.
Yeah, in terms of like 5-on-5 power, you like the AoE comp of Gravity. Whole bunch of burst, whole bunch of area of effect, physical and magic mix. Team 8, though, have the ability to pick their fights, actually. Gragas top comes in, so they are going to play a carry top laner. No tanks on the Team 8 lineup whatsoever. The only durable member really is St. Vicious on Nunu, so explosive fights for sure. Team 8 getting the ability to pick their fights, I think, more easily.
And yeah, Nunu does get very tanky, especially with Cinderhulk and the passive of chomping on the elemental packs stacking up now. But I feel like there are a lot of options here for Team 8, as you said, to choose the way that the fight is going to go, because they're the ones with the huge AoE disengage as well from Gragas.
Yeah. Sivir run away, Morgana Black Shield to target who might get picked.
They just have so many options for when they want to actually fight.
All right, well, we'll see if the choices are good enough here for Team 8. The champs have been locked in. The crowd is here. We're seeing the blue side crowd. I do like that we have the individually colored lights. Just by where you sit, you're already a fan of one of the teams. Shuffle around if you don't want to vote for those guys or root for them overall. But coach is going to meet. LS back in the building for Gravity this week. And potentially both these teams' final games of the split here. Now, as the champions are locked in, head over to Twitter and lock in your votes. Tweet hashtag GVWin or hashtag T8Win to @LOL Esports to vote for who you think is going to win, or hedge your bets and vote for both. We won't tell anyone.
All right, so let's see. St. Vicious on Nunu.
Yeah.
I'd like to see what kind of early control he can get, because again, pairing Nunu with Vladimir, I do like the concept. They have tried it. Vladimir has a very big presence in mid lane. While he doesn't have that kill pressure like an assassin does, he has just the annoyance factor of a massive sustain AP mage in the mid lane that constantly will be shoving turrets and open up the Nunu to really establish that strong vision control that he needs to work with.
Yeah, I just realized there's a really heavy synergy between St. Vicious and Keen. Blood Boil should be more effective on Vladimir.
Okay. Or would it hurt him? Would he just spontaneously combust?
His W's on a lower cooldown.
Hidden, one of those hidden passives where it's 1 second.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see here, actually. A bit of an invade here from Cali Trolls and the rest of Team 8 into the blue buff side of Gravity. Now, this is, again, one of those Cali Trolls specials that we were looking for. No other top laner in the North American LCS using Gragas right now does have the percentage health damage, but Cali has been building a full AP and been able to dunk 80 carries, 100% burst them. So you do have to watch out for that melee threat. And sped up by Sivir, he'll be a much more mobile melee threat.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to really worry about the burst damage coming through from all these guys. Speaking about bursting, just checking people's runes and such, both mid laners running full magic resist glyphs. They're aware of all the threat. Looks like Han's in a similar boat. Cali Trolls as well, 40+ magic resist on everybody. Late invade counterattack here, Team 8 though. Spots St. Vicious, forces the flash from Bunny Fufu. And Saint's going to have to also 2 flashes. Team 8 re-invade their own jungle and get the Gromp.
Really strong early game here from Team 8. Not only do they get the flashes, the Nunu jungle delayed will be huge for Porpoise. Rek'Sai with a pretty big impact early on. Her ganks will be very scary, so we'll have to see if Gravity laners start playing a bit more defensively. Up in the top lane, it is that 1 versus 1, though. Very rarely do we see the Rumble versus Sivir starting out on equal footing.
And I actually like Rumble in that matchup. Sivir can't spell shield Flame Spitter, and her range is so short, she's in range of it at all times. Meanwhile, Kopp is actually freezing the bottom lane himself, which will make it a bit difficult for Cali Trolls to get farm, especially with Bunny Fufu zoning him out like this. But keep in mind, it is a flashless support down here. So if Porpoise comes back down in the next 4 minutes, there's kill pressure.
So Teammate just got a whole bunch of information. Not only did they chase Gravity out of their own blue side jungle, they also have the strong side on the top side of the map here. You can see Dodo keeping watch over St. Vicious's blue and alerting Porpoise, knowing that St. Vicious still not over there to grab the second buff. This could very well be a 3-buff start for Team 8. And Porpoise hasn't even had to skip his own red, gone all the way around.
Yep. Well, Porpoise is here for the extra buff. Problem is, though, the top laners are still farming unequally. Dodo's hoping to double jungle. Hanser getting pushed in, but who cares? He's going to get plenty of farm. As he just saw Cali Trolls get pushed around.
Also, look at this interesting, really early recall here for Cali. If they're bringing him up to the top side, they may try and pressure this turret very early. Remember, it was a blue buff that was easily given over to Cali as well. This is a blue buff Gragas that's coming up to the top side.
Yeah, it's difficult, though, because Hanser's already level 4 here with his one-on-one lane not getting pressured. That is a fairly difficult champion to dive. Just the health you gain.
How many times have we seen dives go wrong on Rumble and the game be decided for it? They are going for it, though.
Yeah, same level as Maple. 3, 2, and 1 also behind. Now, how fast will the push come in? You notice these guys are hiding from the tri-brush in case there's a ward. Now they reveal.
Does expire. Can
Okay,
Dodo
Hanser.
hit the binding here?
They cut the minion wave. Here they go. Who's going to pull aggro? It's going to be Porpoise. And there we go. A whole bunch of damage. Rek'Sai likely to fall for the turret shot. He will. First blood goes over, but a buff transfer to Maple Street.
So I thought they were going to have one of the ranged champions grab aggro first. Dodo threw out an auto attack just barely too late. The auto attack didn't land before aggro was drawn by Rek'Sai, but he threw out the auto attack first. Now, if you use your ranged champion like that, she can sit on the edge of tower aggro and make sure she doesn't dive, whereas the melee champions are the ones having to commit much deeper, and they should not be the ones tanking in these turret dives. We've seen so many of these fail against Rumble, and teams still not using their safer champions, the ranged ones on the outside, to tank the aggro early.
And misplay by Teammate. Overall, that kill trade is worth 50 more gold for Teammate. 50 gold difference there for that one. Really not a big deal. Meanwhile, Gravity took Dragon down. I also like that they only had Nunu and Thresh kill it. Cop stayed in lane. Didn't miss gold, didn't miss XP. Hanser TP's back top lane. He's
Advantage.
2 levels up on Cali Trolls with first blood gold, giving him Sorcerer's Shoes.
Yeah,
Difficult for Teammate.
It was a very huge commitment from Teammate. That backfired. After their strong early start of chasing Nunu out of their own jungle. Let's see if this works on Keen, though. Locking him down.
Oh. All right. Both summoners down.
Porpoise used his flash, and the tower dive failed to escape, so no flash to follow up with Unburrow there.
Just now a summonerless Vladimir, and you wonder, can he keep pushing now at this point when he's got to be afraid of the Rek'Sai ganks coming in over time? Maple Street had a recall for Pickaxe, same for Cop, but it's of course a double buff AD carry, so we'll see if Cop likes this fight at all.
Not going to enjoy his life too much here. A Sivir that's already got a level lead and shoving into the turret with double buffs. Very annoying. Bunny Fufu, though, going to do his best to help out with the CSing. Targon's under turrets is always beneficial. I do like the early visit from Team 8 towards the mid lane to try and take some of the wind out of the sails of early game Vladimir. Vladimir at his weakest stage before he can get the low cooldown on Q. So nice early visit there to reduce a lot of the pressure. Not only did he get flashed, it was Ghost as well, by the way. So going to have some support from Nunu to get the wards up.
Yeah. Well, Nunu right now, though, still flashless. When you consider that most of these lanes have crowd control, Saint will have to be a bit afraid about where he goes for the next 30 seconds. These flashes should be timed, and teammates should know when Nunu can actually turn aggressive, when he can flash on you. Bunny's flash is up thanks to his masteries in the utility tree. And we're seeing these lanes pan out. 400 gold lead for Gravity thanks to their mostly minion leads here. And otherwise, fair matchups.
Yeah. The experience lead is in favor of Gravity for the top lane. However, obviously Team 8 in favor on the bottom lane here with Sivir already 6. Yeah, so that means that the pink ward in this tri-bush for Gravity probably won't provide them a whole bunch of pressure. Usually, pink ward's down around bottom lane. Uh-oh. Porpoise heads in.
Gonna try for it. Ooh, nice get away by Cop. Flash by Bunny Fufu was used, but Lantern keeps Cop safe.
So pretty much, as soon as it came back there, actually had it about for a minute, Bunny Fufu. Gonna have to blow his flash again. So the early exit wasn't that big of a deal for him.
Hook so far not landing, but also you're seeing Maple not spell shield them ever, seeing that they will not land.
Keep
Right
going
back and forth. Yeah.
early magic resist as well in this lane.
Yeah.
Just to make it really, really hard for Slushie to accomplish anything.
I've seen a couple different builds on Vladimir. The one I saw most recently was from FLICKR, where he did Spirit Visage first in AP lanes. Yeah. And then you go out from there. Of course, Vlad's passive, you get ability power for health, so it does give him some more damage, his kind of build. Keen Link to stay safe here. Slushie going for Merlinomicon will be getting a blue buff here as well, so plenty of mana on him. St. Vicious gonna sweep away a pink ward and get a bit of an aggressive ward of his own.
Yeah, gonna try and intercept the second blue spawn, but unsuccessful there. Was alerted to the location of the other pink ward as well.
Yeah.
Rek'Sai, another visit bottom. Now Thresh with no flash should...
Oh! Maple Street, thankfully heals before the Ignite hits him, but he's got to run away from this one. Will not be able to participate anymore. Bunny Fufu, one hit from dead, but teleport, no, canceled in the top lane. Calitro's ulti stopped Haunter, and that's going to be a kill in for Dodo.
That range knockback from Gragas. It looks like Haunter just forgot about it, or is unaccustomed to playing against top lane Gragas.
Who is?
He tried to channel the teleport in the middle of the lane, I believe.
Yep.
Saw him there well away from the turret, and Cali just lobbed a cask right on top of his head. Big pickup there for Team 8, and that is going to be a nice snowball here for their Sivir. The first turret's going to get knocked down. Let's see what they can do with this. Nunu, by the way, during this venture bottom, Corpus showing up again, has taken the opportunity to try and get some buff control back in his favor. St. Vicious going in here. The only drawback here, looks like his Sightstone is already out of wards. I don't think he's got any charges left in it. Anytime you do go venture into enemy territory, love to try and bring some of those along with you.
Well, right now it's only one ward placed on the map. I think it just hasn't backed since he first bought the thing.
Yeah, it hasn't retried. He doesn't have any charges in it, so
they got swept away. So we'll need some time to get his wards back in. Porpoise shows up, says, "That's my jungle. What the heck?" Gets a raptor. All right. Warrior enchant done, by the way. Porpoise actually, thanks to his 2 assists here, actually quite a lot of combat stats. Rek'Sai, of course, still. The reason fighter junglers were so good back in 5.4 and before was their early pressure. People thought if you play tanks, you can't withstand the pressure. Your lanes get jumped on. You can't fight back. You can't counter jungle them. You just lose the battles. And Porpoise hitting those early stats, you think, can he make some plays with these?
plays have already been made.
Make more plays.
With his focus.
Don't be a one-hit wonder, Porpoise.
He's hit bottom lane multiple times, and now he's turned his sights towards the top side, which is a much, much taller order because Haunter is a beast. Spell penetration completed. Early level advantage due to the failed dive. And let's see what Gravity can do with this because they do have Dragon Timer. They do have vision control of the area.
They do.
And they have a level 9 Rumble. So it should be fairly easy Dragon control for them. And this is the plan for Team Gravity. As we said, they don't have a lot of tools for choosing engages, but they have great scaling as well as neutral objective control. With the Nunu and with all of the zone control from Rumble and Vladimir, their plan is to stack up dragons and create the pressure mounting as they get towards number 5.
Absolutely, but at the same time, teammate recognized no TP for Haunter, had to lose it, and so they sent Porpoise top, left Cali Trolls up there, and said, well, we'll get a turret for it. At least they get a trade right here. Turret kill for a turret destruction buff. I guess that's somewhat equal in merit, maybe.
Well, the thing is, by going top with everybody, they leave the bottom side of the map undefended, so we'll see. Undefended, not for long. Porpoise. Huge advantages of Rek'Sai. You're able to make cross-map plays like that and save your low health turret.
And Maple Street, good spell shield. All right, keeps this turret alive, but it is down fairly low. 2 turrets to 0. Teammate doing a good job of this one so far with all their various lanes of pressure. 80 carries on equal builds, and St. Vicious.
Impressive from Cop.
Yeah.
Double buff Sivir he was facing with the level advantage and the lane presence.
Yeah.
Still able to keep up their NCS.
Well, St. Vicious, by the way, is not hidden down there. He blood-boiled Cop a second ago, so they know Saint was there. Ooh!
Got money off of the...
Dodo knows both were there.
Spell Thieves, yeah, got both ticks.
Actually, no. One of them already left. He only got 1 tick, I think. Looking at like the number of stocks up on the item, but ooh, Hunter getting a ward kill. We're back to this, really, guys?
Man, they're using the Fed Rumble here really well.
Yeah.
Winning the ward wars. But Hanser, unprotected by a turret, definitely needs to defend those wards with his life.
Well, thankfully for him, Flash and ulti are available. Can maybe defend himself. Cop will be given an early red buff. He's going to be happy about that one. So, Saber, you can walk in a lane with buffs. Well, so can I. Thank you very much, St. Vicious.
And Slushy, we had questions about Slushy, you know, because the biggest games where he's performed have been on the Orion and the LeBlanc.
Yeah.
But staying even in CS here with the Vladimir, the constant shoving, Lissandra also doesn't really have problems wave clearing, spamming out Qs all day.
Really.
But nonetheless, impressive performance so far here. We'll see if he can find the mark when we get to the team fights.
Yeah. So, word's going down. These guys are pretty much playing for vision control right now. Of course, double sight stone. Porpoise just finished Warrior first. St. Vicious is going to finish Thunderhulk second, and now they're pretty much on equal footing. But I want to see sort of how the rotations come around, because 2 outer turrets gone from Gravity means Teammate has so much more room to go for the aggro plays, go for these dives that aren't even really dives because there's no turret there. It's like the shallow end. And so far, though, it just seems like Gravity are allowed to sit in the lane phase, lick their runes under a 1,300 gold deficit, and go for plays late. That bind's going to hit, though, onto Keen. Knockup as well. Really good damage coming through. Lissandra ulti on top, and wow, the 3 of them together. Nothing Keen could have done.
Great ward on the other side of this wall here. Set up an easy binding from Dodo. And great collapse here from Team 8. That's going to give them mid-lane pressure. This is something that Gravity were not accounting for in the early game plan. Is the Vladimir lane turret to be under pressure? That mid-lane turret, very important for the early game here. They instantly call everybody up to defend it.
That's true, but right now, you're seeing bot lane shoved in by Sivir. She's coming down to mid. By the way, wave clear for Gravity, not really existent. There's no good long-ranged AoE save for Rumble and Graves' ultimate, so this is a turret that is not conscionably defensible. And Team 8 get all 3 outer turrets 15.5 minutes in. Pretty much that cost for a dragon or 2.
Yeah, a large amount of territory opened up for them. But again, this Gravity squad's pretty hard to move out of those lanes if they just decide to go farming route. And 2 dragons already under their belts.
Yeah. What I think it means, though, because of this teammate engage potential, because they can pick fights, outer turrets down means it's easier for you to ward. You tend to have the lane control, which means you tend to be able to get the wards in safely. If you create a big patch of fog of war around this dragon in a minute and a half, what can Gravity walk forward with? Just the immobile St. Vicious? Like, he's tanky-ish. He's got Merc Treads, maybe, but...
Let's see if they can gain that vision territory. Because Porpoise is making his first attempts into the backside of Dragon.
Ooh, what a hook by Bunny! Puts in the Lantern. Porpoise, that play was great, but whoa! Cup misses! Gets the kill anyway. And waits for a Lantern on the way out. But hold on, Maple's here. Cop will have
save him too?
Oh no, Maple gets caught up though. Saints here. Channels the ult. Maple's gonna go down. That's a 2 for 0. Slushy's in a bad spot now as well. Keen's gonna make it a 3rd. What a misstep by Team 8, and Gravity pick up a lot.
So, putting your hard CC all on Bunny Fufu, gonna pay off here. And that's the thing, invading an enemy territory, yes, there's no turrets. There are defensive wards, though. This is a quick double Sightstone team.
Yeah.
They already have defensive wards in their own jungle, and a huge heads-up play from Bunny Fufu. Cop almost making it for naught, but he did jump in. Dodo here, very risky to go for that.
Gets crit the flash play! No ulti available for Cop, though. It will get out. Trades the flash out for that one. Mid-turret stays alive, but Dragon's in 20.
Very bold play there from Dodo. Able to save his turret, though. So he took a really big risk going for that and getting burst down. But didn't pay off. Here's the hook from Bunny Fufu. Follow over. Cop's got his back. Great play, and it should have been dead right there. But the extra commitment works out in Gravity's favor as they sort of draw more members of Team 8 in. Maple Street pops the ultimate as well as Slushy. Cop's able to get over. Started the dash right when the Lissandra ult was cast, and there is that delay before the stun hits. I believe it's like 0.6 seconds before the stun actually lands from Lissandra. And he was able to make it over onto the other side, so that meant no escape from Maple Street. You flash over onto the other side, you've got Cop to deal with.
Yeah, well, very well played game so far. Gravity in position for Dragon number 3 for them. And off those 3 kills, by the way, they've pretty much tied up the gold game. And the bottom outer turret going down as well, finally off the kills. Yeah, nice surge of gold for these guys. So.
Yeah, and there it is, the game plan. Sustain King, able to get pressure mid. They've got the Nunu. Teleport in from a Rumble, and that is ridiculous dragon control. Rumble teleport is available. Right now he's gaining advantages up in the top lane though, so it should not be Gravity to start it up. They just want to wait around, waste teammates' time. Here comes the teleport though, that's the initiation.
All right, 3-4-man ult from Keen, in comes the fight. Dodo though, hooked in, ulted out by Cop, that's the kill picked up. Scattered by a Gragas ulti, but not a fight that teammate are able to take whatsoever.
Gravity chase him into the jungle corridor, and Hanser just lays down an equalizer. A little bit overlapping on the walls there, but didn't matter. So much AoE, Cop able to add some as well, and they clean it up. As Dragon number 3 and Pink Ward number 5. Just made that up.
Yeah, sure. That sounds about right. I trust you, Kobe. And the gold lead finally here for Team Gravity, sitting at 30K right now. To only 29.5 in this game, looking pretty good. It's a team that relies on the enemies to make plays for you in a way, but those things have happened.
Like I said at the beginning here, this is the neutral objective control squad.
Yeah, sure.
And getting the first dragon was really the toughest part. Now that they had the timer on cooldown, they've got the Vladimir pressure mid.
Show up and team fight him.
Rumble, we just saw, able to chase him into the jungle corridors.
Yeah.
Good execution so far from Gravity. Let's see what teammate can do to bounce back. Still even in gold.
That's true.
So the true power of those dragons, not really stacking up quite yet. Still very early in the game. But it is gonna be a big issue very, very soon.
And I gotta wonder as well what it means for teammate Psyche here, where they've basically gone 0-4 in the past few fights and just kept hemorrhaging kills away, despite the fact that they should be engaged, they should find these fights, they just can't quite now. So I want to see the game plan, what everyone is going to be up to. Calitro's back at the top lane farming. We'll see if Hanser's pushed against him or if Gravity make a play to knock down one more outer turret in the time between dragons.
The other interesting thing here is that also Dodo going with the Zonias for Morgana. The double Zonias team, since Gravity have so much AoE and since they have so much sustain, the Zonias kind of lose value against this Gravity squad, it feels like, because a small window of invulnerability won't inhibit Gravity too much. Quick move up top, though. Right now, they're looking to take turrets.
All right, it is out of the target. The AD carry there, the support and top laner as well, and the hook on a Calitro's Black Shield will keep him from getting flayed in, but the turret still will fall. Ulti in the corridor. Porpoise gonna pop right away. 1-for-0. Dodo also a casualty of war.
Man, that was nasty.
Yeah, and Maple Street about to get run over by Keen. I expect somebody he'll use quite out of range of Sanguine Pool. The Q, the auto attack, and Keen gets his third. The team,
Holy moly, that it looks like they want to take 2 off of it. Keen gonna stay mid though, so maybe they'll knock down the outer mid while they draw the defensive resources from teammate up to the top side here.
Uh-oh, Slushy getting hit a whole bunch. Wow, that hook! Buddy Foo-Foo keeps making it happen.
This game went from 0 to 100 real fast, Freak. Team Gravity taking over so quickly, and their confidence coming into this match already seems to be validated. They are crushing the mid game.
This game is accelerating at about 9.81 meters per second squared here. Gravity.
Oh, nice.
Crushing as best they can. 5 turrets taken in the past few minutes. Absolutely great play by these guys so far. And Teammate have a lot of thinking to do. They have been killed 8 times in a row without answer. 5 turrets in a row without answer, and 3 dragons in a row as well. Mid-game certainly going Gravity's way.
And they leave Teammate with no answers. They shoved all the okay, well, let's just take a look at Bunny Foo-Foo highlights once again. Holy moly.
Yeah,
Like, how do you even predict like the half claw take and then flash as well? And that's just like, buddy, come on, man.
You know,
where's the counterplay?
It could be that he was aiming for Cali trolls.
No.
We're gonna give it to him. But either way, Bunny. Yeah.
Very rarely,
that one.
very rarely do we get single player chance in the North American LCS. Yeah, Bunny Fufu definitely deserving of his own chance.
I absolutely agree. We've had the moan for balls a couple of times, but
yeah, balls, Huni are the two main ones that come to mind.
Yeah, that's good company to be in though. Bunny Fufu really making a name for himself with a win right here. Will lock them in at 5th seed in the playoffs, no questions asked. Gravity with a win will fight Team Impulse in the quarterfinals of the North American LCS playoffs.
Yep. And see what kind of tiebreakers we will have to look forward to. Teammate, some more games to play.
Yeah. They beat Gravity here or they beat Team Liquid at the end of the day, but that's the only chance that Teammate has of making their way into the playoffs. We heard Team Liquid say they're going to watch these games intently and say, man, just pick a really scary mid-game team fight comp and all right, maybe we'll do a bit of that. Gravity certainly making this composition work very well, and we've actually seen them execute so many different styles successfully. They played a bunch of heavy assassins before. Vi Zed was the big combo. That was very good. They're doing this one now, just all AoE magic damage essentially. And Bunny is the entirety of the team's crowd control. So far, so good. I want to see what else Gravity has up their sleeves here.
All right, well, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves.
True.
Because they still do have a bit of control to do. You can see they've laid down plenty of wards. All they have to do is get ready for their 4th and 5th dragons to be able to make their final push. 4th dragon should be very easy. They've got full blue side jungle warded, plus the Nunu, so yeah, probably no contest here from Team 8. They will get a bit more desperate as we get closer to the number 5, and they'll have to make a play with their Sivir Gragas. But as of right now, all going according to plan for Team 8, save for the very early level 1 start, where they did not expect the reset there from Team 8 as far as the allocation of champions, bringing support immediately down to the opposite side of the map of the lane swap.
Yeah. Gravity looking very good here. So Dragon 4 is here, which means minions die real fast. The hook catches on a Slushie. Will they do much for it? Looks like a fair bit. Ice Blast in the back half. They force the teleport out of Cali Trolls, but the minion wave is already dead. Teammate just playing reactionary now for the last 10 minutes in a row or so, and unable to really put their stamp on a Gravity. As Keen will go back to the top lane, clear a red buff, maybe a split push top. But pressure certainly still the situation as Gravity keeps good wards up.
Yeah, things just really spun out of control so quickly. You look at the team from Gravity and you're like, you know what? It actually shouldn't be too difficult for Teammate. They all itemized magic resist. They've got a Lissandra, they can just blow up Graves, right? No problem. However, they haven't given them any time to jump into that build. They're still trying to scrape together their items. Only just now people are completing their secondary items. They've now got the AoE magic resist aura, but Team Gravity have accrued such a huge lead and such a giant hold on the game with 4 dragons already taken. There's so much pressure for Team 8 to make a godly play to come back here.
Yeah.
They have to start getting a bit more desperate, and they're going to take bigger risks very soon, in the next 3 or 4 minutes.
They took that big risk for Dragon 3 and it backfired pretty heavily. They went trying to get ward control. Hook came in onto Porpoise. They could have given that away, but they took the risk to defend him, try to re-engage. 2 more kills fell apart. They tried to fight for Dragon. That backfired as well. These risks have unfortunately not worked out. Gravity said Teammate picks up random wins with loaded dice. These ones seem much more fair. And Teammate unable to quite get the advantages they were hoping for. Now Baron ward control is here. Another hook on a Porpoise.
Go ahead and give Bunny Fufu 1500 range.
Oh man, the explosive damage coming across Porpoise. Nearly gonna go down. Pops Locket, does it really matter? No, it doesn't. St. Visions gets the kill credit thanks to Absolute Zero, bringing his health down to the same number. Slushi, Zonya's ult. Actually, maybe some chances. One kill finally picked back up. Calitro's low, drinks up, and Haunter overextends, but he pops Zonya's to stay alive. Cop picks one up. They're going to trade it to Maple Street, and the Lantern keeps them all safe. It's a 5-for-1 for Gravity.
Cop flash healing into the base
Why not?
to help out here. Let's see what he can pull off inside the.
I like it.
Well deserved, my friend.
Very well deserved.
You actually have to give Bunny a full screen of safety, because if you come within the range of death sentence, it will land.
Yeah, for Bunny Fufu, death sentences are literal.
And that's why I really do like Saint back on the Nunu.
Yeah.
I keep talking about it, but one of his favorite I mean, we just look at another Rumble Ultimate here because he crushes the entire team, but it's been one of his favorite champions for years. Provides a bunch of vision control so they can set up Bunny for these hooks. Oh, now we're all over the place. It's just Gravity murdering members of Team 8. Oh, that was where Cop got his first kill before he jumped into the base of Team 8. His first kill of that sequence.
of that
Excuse
fight.
me, not
Yeah,
of
sure.
the game, of course. Just of that.
How did he get a heptakill?
That
Wow.
fight.
That's impressive. Cop, though, 2 minutes on Dragon. Baron Buff, of course, already on the team for about the same duration.
And we also talked about, how Team Liquid are watching this match to see what the loser will look like. Teams in the playoffs that have already secured their spots are also watching this match, or should be, to study the teams that are probably going to get in here, because Gravity are looking very, very scary right now. And even the teams at the top of the table need to be taking notes.
Sure. I mean, Gravity's going to play Impulse if they win here no matter what. Winner plays TSM. That's one side of the bracket. If Gravity wins right here, guaranteed. That's half of it right there. The rest still to be decided at the end of the day. But right now, it's definitely looking Gravity's way here. Up 10 kills, up 11,500 gold, and with Baron Buff, they are sieging. They've already taken turret number 6 down. That was bot lane tier 2. Now the bot inhibitor is the focus, with a Baroned up minion cannon just slowly whittling away. Wow, man, again, Cop now legendary busted into the wall. The turret keeps losing health.
55 seconds left on Dragon number 5, but Gravity gonna take at least an inhibitor first, maybe just the game.
There's the push, pushing in on a Slushi. Does survive the Hemo Plague, but it's enough to buy them the time to take down the inhibitor. 40 seconds to go on Dragon 5, 10 seconds on Dodo's respawn. Plenty of time for Gravity to heal and buy if they want to.
All right, what's the timer on Bunny's next death sentence that lands?
I'm gonna say
it all depends on if you think that Team 8 are gonna rush for this Dragon 5, basically is the question.
The answer might be yes here. Looks like the Baron Empowered Recall's coming in first. I'm gonna say 22 minutes, 10 seconds.
What?
32 minutes, 10 seconds. Game time.
I was like, what, 22 minutes more?
Yeah, the next one we're gonna see is a replay back 10 minutes ago.
Oh, here we go. I feel like it's gonna be sooner.
It's gonna miss,
I
watch.
feel like it's gonna be sooner.
Okay, just kidding, it's now!
It landed, I heard it, I heard it.
It landed. I meant 31 minutes, 20 seconds. I had the numbers backwards.
There you go.
I was dyslexic.
All right, well that will also be Dragon number 5, and Gravity surely gonna run into the base after this one.
Yeah.
Their own base, haha.
Gravity invading the blue side base. In they go onto the fountain. Wow, they're all there.
Beam me up, Scotty.
All right, one last shopping trip. And here we go.
Wow, I did not expect this game to be so decisive.
Yeah.
From Gravity. They've taken everything from Team 8. Only thing left on the menu,
Buffs, I guess.
looks to be straight up the middle towards Nexus.
They're really making sure. They say, look, this buff lasts 3 minutes. Let's grab everything we possibly can, stack them all together, even Scuttler, just for fun.
Well, you know what's crazy? Vladimir didn't even complete the Spirit Visage because the game just went into overdrive so quickly. Just sitting on the early magic resist for laning phase with the cowl and the extra HP regeneration, but jumped into a full offensive build here. Deathcat into Luden's Echo Vladimir. He has really low cooldowns plus the blue buff. He can continue to spam and to move while he's in pool. So
like it.
interesting little combination here from Keen. Whether it's a result of the game being so one-sided and getting extremely fed, or if he planned on doing this the entire time, regardless, we'll see it on display here. It's going to be a massive amount of AoE from this Vladimir.
Yeah, well, they pull Hanser top lane. He was mid. Here comes the push in. Hook lands 33-04, and the zone is popped by Dodo. Already, Solution goes down without ulting. Dodo, the second casualty, cleanly. Saint tanks the turret. That's going to go down. Inhibitor number 2 in their sights, and the wave is already inside the base. Dancing around, flash hook comes in. Looks like that could have been a bit of a surrender here as they go in for Maple. That's the kill. Calitro's back to the Nexus Fountain as well. Yeah, it's just a bunch of cleanup kills here. Gravity gonna win the game in strong fashion. 33.5 minutes in. Bunny Fufu, 0-1-13 on Thresh, making the plays. Cop wants to leave his mark on the LCS. 12-0-4 for him. Congratulations, Gravity.
Well deserved.
Very well deserved.
Well deserved there for Gravity, and we see the reason they were so confident coming into this game. Great execution.
Alrighty, so there is going to be your number 5 team in the North American LCS playoffs.
Yep.
Gravity can go home saying, all right, guys, we made it. Looking pretty good for themselves. Now, Team 8, they have to steel themselves. They've got a game coming up against Team Liquid, and that could be only about an hour away. There's one more regularly scheduled match today, but they will be facing Team Liquid after that happens. As everyone shakes hands with the audience.
Yeah, and we'll see if the old members of the squad of Cop and St. Vicious are also able to make it. Take home some victories.
Yeah.
Because these old guys, they've definitely been around for a long time, but they came out today and proved that they still have what it takes.
Yeah. I mean, how many people would have thought at the end of the regular season, you've got Gravity, who qualified for the LCS's Curse Academy through the expansion tournament. They didn't even make the final 8 initially, would end in a playoff position in the top half of the standings. Gravity, top 50% of the North American LCS here. What a great start for these guys. Certainly a lot of veterans, but a lot of new blood as well. Keen has really made his mark on the LCS. Hanser pulled out a challenger. Was actually added to this team very recently. He's done pretty well for himself. And the old veterans of the old Curse lineup, Bunny, Cop, Saint, their experience certainly has helped in Gravity, a top 5 team. We can see if they can go even farther during the playoffs, because that is a team that they've beaten TSM. They've beaten Cloud9, beaten Team Liquid, you know, one of the other good old guard teams as well. I mean, there is a lot Gravity can do in the postseason.
There's a lot Bunny Fufu can do with Thresh as well.
Yeah. And that was so funny, too, because when he first joined, we're like, yeah, Bunny Fufu's known for his Thresh. That's his champion.
We brought this up yesterday, too, right?
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, great performance. Are people going to ban it again from him?
Yeah, but that's the weird thing is, like, when he first joined the LCS, he was like playing a whole bunch of Leona and Annie, like hard engage supports were like the thing you picked. And then very recently, like the last couple of months, Morgana was like the thing everyone was afraid of. You saw more Morgana bans than Thresh, and then he would still like go play Annie half the time, or a fair bit of Janna and whatnot. And then recently, yes, he finally gets to go back to playing Thresh, and we wonder why he ever left. Certainly, he's quite good at the champion. He's a really fun player to watch, and it's been a great set of games from him.
Yeah, I mean, man. That control from Gravity that game was definitely something to marvel at, because their early game, actually, there were definite hiccups.
Absolutely, yeah. You saw, they gave away first blood on the dive. The jungle invade got turned around. They lost 2 flashes. I do want to see then if Team 8 can turn it around for themselves with their tiebreaker later on today, if they can clean up some mistakes. But for now, I'm going to toss it over to Riv and Jat at the Telestrator for some high-level analysis of Gravity's win.
Thank you very much, Freak. And I think we all had Bunny Fufu hopping into our hearts that game.
Oh, my God.
Even Xpecial did. He wrote on Twitter for the first replay as we bring this on up, "Holy moly, Bunny, that's not legal." And I think everybody kind of figured out what the situation was after Bunny was pretty much carrying the game.
He carried the game. They talked about the team compositions here and how Bunny Fufu was the only thing that was going to create fights for Gravity, and how, that would be a problem if it wasn't Bunny Fufu on Thresh, who's maybe the best Thresh in the world.
A lot of things he did were not legal this game. Let's pull up the first replay and just see how he started it off, because it looked like Teammate had everything in the bag here. And then even with a few slip-ups, Gravity pulled out nicely.
We can roll this one right away, because I just want to highlight again how reliable he is at making very difficult plays. Hook into Lantern, that's the easy part. He then flays the instant Porpoise started his tunnel. He didn't have very much time. Cop makes the lone misplay there by missing the ultimate because he used it before the flash. But at this point, Cop is kind of struggling. Bunny Fufu never panics. He immediately gets the hook. He knows to take it in. He flays both people. Bunny did not miss a single ability with tons of variance during that entire fight, and it cleans things up for Gravity to initially give them the lead in this game. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous how well he was playing that game, and it only got better from there.
It was crazy stuff all game long. On the desk, we were kind of saying, he's heating up. Here he goes. He's heating up, hitting three-pointers from everywhere.
Bunny's had this before, and I like to kind of make an NBA Jam reference here, where if you hit 3 hooks in a row, Bunny Fufu can just start throwing out all the hooks, and it won't miss, even if you're halfway across the map.
And in that sense, it's got to be the shoes, right? Cool down all the way.
He does the cooldown boots, too, later on in the game, only because he lands so many hooks. But we have another replay where he hooked after a flash. And I want to slow this down to see if the hook was going to land, regardless of whether the flash was landed or not. So let's just roll this right now at very slow speeds as soon as the hook gets thrown out, because he's lining it up to hit that. But if you notice where he throws it, based on the timing, he needed Slushy to flash that as well. And your mind is just blown at the speed of the decisions that Thresh has made. And we highlight these two Thresh plays, most importantly, only because how impressive it was, but mainly because that's what Gravity needed to do in order to win this game.
Exactly. They needed Bunny to come out big. It's going to be very strong for them in the playoffs, as well as having Bunny with that kind of strength coming out. Yeah. It's good for them to keep climbing with that.
Here's the thing.
How many supports carry a game like that?
They're in the playoffs right now, so don't have to worry immediately about a Thresh ban coming up. Teammates going to have to be the ones trying to, recover from that, as they're going to have to play against Team Liquid. Honestly, though, dude, it was mean. The Morgana game that Bunny Fufu played yesterday was actually pretty lackluster. He missed a lot of bindings.
That's true.
Ineffective in fights, but getting him back onto such a comfort champion put him into the playoffs.
Well, we get to hear from the man himself, because Dash is actually standing by with Bunny Fufu right now, so we're going to hand it over to them.
Bunny Fufu and his partner in the bot lane, Cop. I mean, we'll touch on you first, Bunny Fufu, because it was hook after hook after hook this game. Was it just like, I have to play Thresh, it's the game to get us into the playoffs and secure it all?
We're thinking, if it's up, we're probably just going to pick it, because it's, comfort champion, we play well around Thresh, so I think that really helps.
And you went with the CDR build that I actually got to talk to you a little bit about before. Yeah. Do you go with the CDR build? Is that now the standard build for you? Or do you go with the CDR build when you feel like you're landing the hooks enough and the rest and the flays and things like that you can capitalize on the cooldown?
It's kind of just a personal preference I have, because you can go Mobies and be more mobile and look to make plays around the map. But when things are kind of slow paced, like that type of game, I like the CGR.
Awesome. And then, Cop, we highlight those plays from Bunny Fufu being the person throwing out the hooks. But you're there the entire step of the way, taking the lantern and trusting that all of this is going to land. So what's that relationship been like in terms of having such a superlative support player on a champion like Thresh that it allows you to be like, yeah, I'll take that lantern in. Yes, I'll flash that wall and know that you'll be, and things like that.
It's not really trusting where I kind of just take it no matter what. It's like 50-50, which I've noticed. But
so sometimes it's to your own doom.
It'll work sometimes, so that's all I need.
There it is. And we got a nice look at a feature on you specifically, Cop, prior to this game, where you spoke a lot about leaving your mark on League of Legends, as a whole, and one of those big goals being to make it to Worlds. Well, step in the right direction, getting to playoffs, given the circuit point system, this is going to allow you guys to put yourselves in position coming through to the summer split. Now that you've snuck in there and you've proven that you can beat up any of the other teams, where do you guys feel you're going to finish moving, through this playoff section?
I think it's up to how hard we practice this week. I got a lot of motivation from yesterday's loss. So, last night, I don't really play solo queue, but me and Bunny do it 8 games. So, hopefully that's a wake up call and start practicing a lot more.
Absolutely. And then again, one more note on this kind of idea of leaving a mark. You were on a team that got so close to making it to Worlds. You've now transitioned teams that qualified through the promotion tournament. So, I mean, this is quite a run already. Do you feel like what you've done with Gravity, what you've accomplished with this team, is leaving a mark of some kind?
I think we're doing really, really well for our first split, and I'm happy with the results. And hopefully, I really would like to make Worlds, so I'm going to try and give it my all.
All right, sweet. One step at a time. Bunny, last question to you. Just now that you guys have secured this spot, you had to be prepared to play another game today. Now, fortunately for you guys, you don't have to. But looking at that Team 8, Team Liquid game, how do you see that one playing out?
I think, honestly, TL's going to win just because they're all going to give the last push before, the split ends or whatever. So I think their last push, and they're all really good players, so I think they can take the win.
All right, well, you heard it here first. Predictions there for our next game. I want to congratulate you guys on securing that victory, making sure you don't have to play another game for your lives. We'll see you guys in playoffs. Keep it tuned right here, though, because CLG and Team Impulse are preparing to face off in our 5th game of the day. You are watching the North American LCS.
Did you know I was actually named after a police officer that was downed in the line of duty?
That was also a basketball player.
Named Cop.
Today,
your feature.
Thanks, Keen.
Ooh, what a hook by Bunny. Puts in the lantern. Porpoise, that play was great, but wow, Cup misses. Uh-oh, Slushy getting hit a whole bunch. Wow, that hook. Bunny Foo-Foo keeps making it happen.
Oh, Keen's going in deep.
I got more.
Can you get out? Sorry.
Help. Okay, I'm coming. Help.
Yeah, I almost have W.
Take the W out.
Very. Flash hook comes in. Looks like that could have been a bit of a surrender here as they go in for Maple. That's the kill. Calitro's back to the Nexus Fountain as well. Gravity going to win the game in strong fashion.